So why don't you tell everyone about your real estate investing experience?
Okay, I'll try. Uh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
I don't even know where to start. I guess the topic of creativity is really what has kept me here. And, you know, every time you get a deal or every time you attempt to do something in real estate, there's no cookie cutter situation. Just like Ekwa said, there's no way you can follow that on the manual, you know? So for me, that's really the part that I enjoy the most. It's been an extremely rewarding career that has come, it has its ups and downs. And, you know, there's been some situations where I've lost a lot of money, and there are some situations where I made a lot of money, and it's just been fun, you know? When you lose the money, it's not so fun. But, you know, you just learn a lot. There's a lot of lessons that come with just being committed and wanting to build a retirement for yourself, or at least that was my initial inspiration. Like, I wanted just to make sure that if my husband was gonna be out working every day and bringing in the cash flow, then I was gonna make sure that I took that cash flow and it got invested into our future so that we could retire early. Really, that was the motivation in the beginning. But when I started doing it, it was just so much fun. It was just so much to learn, and I definitely got very distracted. I learned all the techniques. I bought all the courses, you know, and I had analysis paralysis as well, but I was relentless, you know. I thought it was easy. I mean, I started in 2005. You could get any loan you wanted, and you could go to any market, and it seemed like with no money you could invest in real estate and, you know, make money. And one of the things that I still laugh about is that when I first decided I'm going to invest in real estate, I had this vision that all you have to do is buy a rental, so easy, and then the next day you will start getting checks in the mail. That's literally what I thought I was doing, and that's how I did it. Like, that's how I started. I was so clueless, you know? I did take education and whatnot, but I thought it was gonna be that simple, and you quickly realize it really is not that simple. So I think one of the biggest things that that I would like to share with you guys is that if you are in this business because of you're looking at the money, you're looking at the returns, you're looking at the possibility, it's really, that's not enough. That's not enough. You need to have a vision that is bigger than that, because you're gonna fall in the hole, and when you're in that hole, you better get out so you can thrive. Otherwise, you're just gonna stay in the hole, you know, and you're gonna say, oh, real estate is not for me, because it really doesn't work. So I invite you to really keep the vision up front and personal. Like, what are you gonna do with that check when it comes in the mail, you know? What is it for? Are you just gonna continue reinvesting it and see in the future you have a dream? Or are you gonna take a portion of that check and actually put it in savings for your kids' college? You know, do you see how you can contribute to a friend's dream? Maybe they're building a business that you think is wonderful. You can contribute to that and maybe even become a partner with them, you know? What if you have a family member that is really in need and you really wanna help them? So these checks coming in the mail, this is what these checks can do. And so if there's something pressing in your life that is more important than the actual cash, that's your motivation. So I invite you to think more about that than the learning the courses and the how do I get $100 extra so that I can go pay for this tutoring and, you know, all that stuff. It's not like that at all. Another thing that I would say is that along this journey, one of the most important things is the people that you end up working with. There's a lot of us. Look, there's a whole room, I don't know how many there is of us here. And the reality is that everybody has the greatest intentions, and everybody has dreams, and everybody has skill. Some people have money, some people have skill, some people have time. Some people have credit, some people have friends, some people are just very resourceful, you know. And the truth is that not everybody's gonna jive with you. So just because you met one person that meets the need that you have that day, don't attach to them right away. You need to check your gut, because that gut is gonna tell you how you're going to solve the problem when the problem shows up. More than likely, problems are gonna show up, because that's what we do in real estate. We solve problems, right? And the better you get at solving the problem, then that's how you make the money. So it's really unpleasant to try to solve problems with people that you just don't vibe with. So it's okay to say no thank you, and it's okay to keep boundaries, and also it's okay to continue meeting more people. So these networking events are awesome. You know, sometimes you meet someone that just, you feel like you've known them forever, and you don't know why, and you don't know why you want to work with them. They don't even have the skills that you need, but you just you just vibe, right? And I think part of it is how Rent comes together, because there is something very special about the women-only environment, and we're not all for each other, but there's definitely someone in there that you feel like, at minimum, you get support from this person, you know? So that would be, that's one of my advice. And also on a more practical level, when you go out looking for deals and you're like vetting people, you better know how to do due diligence on people, because some people are very good at being con artists, and sometimes you can't see it. And I'm not immune, you know. I invested with people who literally stole my money, and I didn't see it coming. I also invested with people that had excellent track records, and they lost the projects. And I've invested with people who had really good track records until they didn't. Like, they were great, and then they turned, right? So I don't know how to solve that, but I guess just keep going, keep investing, look for, you know, just keep expanding, because, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. Amazing projects come along. Sometimes we have a project that just happens like this, and you don't even know how you made 40 grand in 30 days. Like it's amazing. And then there's projects that are very long, and one day you realize, oh my God, that project paid for itself like 2 or 3 times already, you know? So in terms of, I guess rentals, because you guys wanted me to talk about rentals, long-term rentals are great, and they're super boring. And when I first started, they were exciting, because I was looking for those easy checks. And then the easy checks were not that easy, so I discovered you have to work at it, you know? But over the long term, a rental property gives you everything you need, pretty much. Like, you don't need to do 1,000 different strategies. You really don't need to learn to flip and do notes and be, raise capital. You don't need to do all of that. You could just buy a boring single-family home in a good location. You get it at a little bit of discount, maybe. You don't even need a discount. You make sure that you bought it in a way that it cash flows so that it's paying for itself. And then you wait. Because no matter whether you financed it or not, time is going to give you the value of that property. You better take good care of it, you know? It better cash flow enough that you can take good care of it, so that you always have a good roof on it, all your systems are working, you know? It's boring. You can even rent it at a little bit of a discount if you have an excellent tenant. You want to keep your tenant for as long as possible. And so those are just little secrets. Like, it's pretty boring, and you are providing really great housing for someone at the level that they can afford it, and it's a really, humble way of doing business. And if you can do that and repeat it, you don't even have to do 100. I mean, you do one a year, maybe one every 2 years. If it's leveraged, it's going to pay down. The tenant's going to pay for it. And then, 10 years later, you turn around and you have a portfolio that you can do many things with it. So, and then, life changes, right? So in my season of buying, which was 2005, I was all go-getter and, do as much as I can, and anything that came by my desk, I said yes to, It was crazy. And then actually when everything crumbled, yes, some of my projects that didn't fit that market crumbled, but then I was able to shift. And then I learned to raise capital with one of ours as well. And then I took that money and invested in foreclosures. So we bought the properties at the courthouse steps. So that I learned that skill. But the bug had already bitten me, right? But if I held on to the first rentals that I bought back in 2005, I'm retired anyways. So yeah, rentals are great. So I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might have. It's like the most simple business